Hi, James Kalita here with James Can Close the Sale, talking to you today about the book Spin Selling. Now, this is a book that I love to hate. There's three things about this book that make it worth the time it takes to read it as well as the purchase price. One is information about getting past the gatekeeper. Two is differentiating between a sales continuation and moving a sale along in the sales process. And three, understanding the difference between dealing with a buyer that's buying something for their own personal use or their own personal services and a professional buyer that deals with salespeople for a living. Not so great about this book is that it spends a large portion of the text taking the fundamental books of sales and the fundamental sales writers and throwing them under the bus. Now, granted, there are some difference between small sales, short sales cycle sales, and large sales cycles with a longer sales process. But the 5 basic steps of a sale are still there, despite the author's attempt to rename, recategorize, and describe them differently. If you're not careful, you could walk away from Spin Selling thinking that it's not necessary to prospect, build rapport, present the product, and close the sale, and then follow up. You still have to do these things. But Spin Selling names them a little differently, gives you some different steps. Good book, good for the reasons I mentioned before. Help getting past the gatekeeper, help building rapport with sophisticated buyers, and help differentiating between a continuation and moving the sale further along the process. Definitely worth the time to read, definitely worth the purchase price, but read it with caution. And I certainly wouldn't want this book to be the foundation of my selling education. For that, I would recommend Zig Ziglar, and look for reviews of his books coming soon. This is James Kalita with James Can Close the Sale, reminding you that you can too.